9 years, congratulations. The BJP is positioning itself for 2024. Give us a sense of the accomplishment that the party feels at this point, and what would be your message to India?
So the positioning has been very simple, that I want to take everyone back to what the Prime Minister said on his very first speech when he entered the Parliament. I remember being there, and I'm sure everybody else remembers, when he got up in the Central Hall and he said that this government is dedicated to the poor, to the farmer, to the marginalized and the women. So that is the basic principle on the basis of which all the works which have been undertaken, or the policies guiding principle has been this. And this is what this government has been trying to achieve, and it has been a move from promises to delivery, which we can see in every aspect, in every field, in every format. You can just compare the times, you can compare the data, and you can see that whether it's last mile delivery, it's infrastructure development, it's protecting the rights of the women, it's carrying on with the cultural and heritage values of this country. Everywhere this government has made huge strides.
Right, as you have spoken extensively about culture and tradition, you are the Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture. I'd like to ask you on the Parliament building inauguration, the controversy that surrounded it. Of course, it was a great start for the BJP with inaugurating the new Parliament building. It looks swanky, stunningly beautiful, but it came with a fair share of politics. Even as we saw, the BJP was the first to reintroduce the Singal, giving it its due place and recognition. We saw the opposition, first of all, boycotting the Parliament inauguration and, of course, trivializing the rich history and tradition that the Singal carries.
I think people are so filled with such narrow value systems that they have stopped learning from its past, and they have stopped denigrating its past. One must understand that the history of India is much older than any other history in the world. And the civilizational value system is very different. So when people look at the concept of a nation state, where similar kind of people build a nation with the similar kind of value system, which is a Westphalian model, they do not understand the civilizational concept of a nation state. India has been a civilizational nation state with its tentacles spread across Southeast Asia to Central Asia to Pacific Ring, so on and so forth. So without getting into the detail, I want to take everyone back to the Vedic period, much before Christ was born. Much before 7th century AD, Islam came to this planet. So much before these times, India was still a very complex and developed civilization. And some of the value systems which existed in this country is something which people need to respect, maybe ape sometimes, and at least give Indians the privilege to follow what they believe in. Now, Singal represented Rajdand, which means the office of the Raja, which is not Raja in the form of monarch, but it was like an elected office. So king used to be an elected office. There were Ganatantras, there were republics, and these mentions you find in various literatures. And then, of course, it became a hereditary office. And when it became an office by succession, even then this particular ritual continued. That king will get up when at the time of coronation or Rajabhishek and say, I am the most supreme, I'm above law, I can do whatever. The Rajpurohit, the one who was like a conscious keeper of the court, will get up and hit the head of the king with the baton, which is Rajdand, and say, no, above you is the law, and you are bound by the law, and you are here to establish the rule of law. Rule of law is most supreme, and you are subordinate to the rule of law. Now tell me, as compared to what we see the model of democracy which is seen today prevalent across the globe today, which is post-Renaissance period, comes from Europe. Is the concept not similar, that rule of law and everybody is equal before law prevalent? And is this not a decent ritual which keeps in mind that nobody is supreme, the supreme is the law of the land, and in our case supreme is the constitution of this country, which people of India have given it to them. It's re-establishing the value system which we all believe in. And to create controversy on something as sincere as this, something as ancient practice as this, something which brought pride to all Indians, should that be neglected simply because it happened to have its origin in the Hindu practices? Is this not a secular practice?